And good evening, everyone. Welcome to WREP 15 Sports here at Ciderwoods Field tonight for a big conference matchup between the number 4 Whiteland Warriors at 4-1 and your 5-0 second-ranked Martinsville Artesians in a very big mid-state conference matchup. Artesians come into tonight's game at 5-0 after a big win on the road last week at Franklin. Let's take you there to Franklin High School and show you some of the highlights of how that game went down and how the Martinsville Artesians came up with the big W. Right here, Artesians attack on the ground. It's Travis Griffey with the keeper for the early touchdown. Artesians up 7-0. Franklin would respond, though, and score a touchdown. Isaac Osborne would punch it in for his first touchdown on the ground of the evening. And then it's another ground touchdown for the Artesians to extend their lead 21. After a safety, a little option play, and nice run by Isaac Osborne, kind of high steps the would-be Franklin tackler and goes into the end zone for the score. Artesians would pretty much cruise in the second half. The defense would pitch another shutout in the second half, and the Artesians would go on to win that game 30-7. Should be a big-time matchup here as the Artesians will host the Whiteland Warriors, who are coached by Darren Fisher. Whiteland comes into tonight's game scoring 34 points per game, defense giving up 18 points per game. So you should expect a lot of ground attack from the Whiteland Warriors. They don't throw it a whole lot. The Warriors on the season passing it 80 yards per game. That's all they're putting it through the air. Now, granted, they are starting quarterback Ian Pelfrey towards ACL in game number 3 against Decatur Central, so that kind of took away a little bit of their passing attack. But traditionally, the Whiteland Warriors are a ground team. They come into tonight's matchup averaging 356 yards per game on the ground. So Artesians really need to be mindful of that. Eric Meyer sat down with Coach Whitson and talked a little bit about what to expect from the Warriors.
You're going to see multiple guys go in a bunch of different directions for them. You know, that's what they're trying to deceive you a little bit. They will hand off that jet or fly. They'll hand it off and they'll run outside with it, and then they'll hand it off and kind of cut it up and try and go north and south. You know, and then their key is they're running back number 1. You know, they want to do all that misdirection and stuff, but really they want to get the ball to him and have him run it right at you. He's a good player. He's hard to tackle. So they kind of make it fancy. They kind of give you something to look at and make you think hard, but really they just want to run it right at you with a big O-line and a good running back.
It's been 17 years since the Artesians have been 5-0, and they're looking to make it 6-0 tonight. But to do that, they've got to do a couple of things, and let's hear what Coach Whitson talks about for the keys to the game for Martinsville to get a win tonight against Whiteland.
You know, again, we're going to have to stop the run. You know, we talked about, you know, they've got all the jet sweep, and they hand it to 41. He's a good little player, but really focusing on number 1, their running back, stopping the run. You know, trusting our teammates, trusting our coaches of do your assignment. You don't have to tackle the jet sweep if you're supposed to be in the box. So that's a big key for us. You know, we've got some veterans. A lot of our defensive guys played against them last year, so they feel like, you know, we feel like we've got a better, you know, just beginning of understanding of what they're doing. And then offensively, we need to, you know, we need to spin it around. We need to hand the ball off. We need to run it at the quarterback. We need to be able to throw it to our outside guys and inside guys and kind of just go where they're not. This will be a big game with turnovers. They're really, really good on special teams, really well coached. Just watch them fly down on kickoff, and you can tell that they're coached well and they, you know, they play hard. This will be one of the groups, you know, this season that'll play the hardest out of anybody that we see. So that's just kind of the reputation they have, and that's, you know, what Coach Fisher does.
And that's what we'll expect, a hard-nosed ball game coming up.
And welcome back to Ciderwoods Field. That was Coach Whitson talking about the keys to the game, what the Martinsville Artesians have to do to move on to 6-0. It's going to be a tough test with the 4th-ranked Whiteland Warriors in their way. Whiteland's only lost 1 game. That was against Decatur Central. But as you guys know, Artesians are an undefeated 5-0. As you can see, they are getting ready to come out. Coach Whitson getting the Artesian squad ready for a big Friday night conference matchup. Great crowd here tonight. decent weather. I think we're going to bypass any chances of rain for tonight, which is always good. We've got a few clouds in the sky, but for the most part, clear skies overhead Ciderwitz Field. And here come your Martinsville Artesians. As you can hear in the background, Artesian faithful bringing all kinds of cowbells and other noise makers, really going to make a lot of noise and back this Artesian team. Very impressed by the crowd last week at Franklin. But for now, we're going to pause for the playing of the national anthem by the Martinsville High School Band.
And now presenting our national anthem.
And that was the Martinsville High School Marching Band playing the national anthem as we are getting ready for the coin toss as both teams meet at the 50-yard line. So Whiteland will receive the opening kickoff and get us started here just momentarily. I mentioned before the national anthem how impressed it was to be sitting on the Franklin side in their press box and look across the field and see a full visitors bleachers. Martinsville Artesian fan base, the crowd completely filled the visitor sideline and bleachers, and it was pretty much standing room only. And you could see what I see from this perspective, the home side is really close to being full, and there are still a lot more people filing in for this conference matchup. The fan base here for the Martinsville Artesians has been really impressive all season long, even from the opener at Bedford. Good crowd there. Then the attendance has just kind of grown and grown as this Martinsville team continues to win and just makes this community proud. So at 5-0, the Martinsville Artesians will get ready to kick it off. Kicker Caleb Urban will kick it off. Suffered a bit of a thigh injury at a soccer game last week, but seems to be okay. No problems or issues there. And we are officially underway here at Ciderwitz Field. It's Martinsville, it's Whiteland. It's taken at the 2-yard line. Missed tackle there, but finally brought down, gets to about the 20-yard line. And number 41 for the Whiteland Warriors, Melvin Taylor. With that return, as Whiteland will start it just inside the 20-yard line. Artesian defense been very impressive all season long, only giving up 14 points per game. But this is a unique offense that the Artesians will see, as you heard from Coach Whitson during the pregame. They keep it on the ground, but a lot of people in motion. You have to be very disciplined. They started out with a toss play to Jake Perry. Perry gets forced out of bounds there on the far sideline prior to getting to the 30-yard line. And Jake Perry is the go-to guy. Now, they will hand it off and use a lot of different runners in this game, but Jake Perry is the go-to ball carrier. He's got 76 carries, 742 yards, 8 touchdowns on the season. Last week against Perry Meridian, Perry had 172 yards and 3 touchdowns. So Jake Perry, a very impressive runner, but as you can see already, there's some motion, and it's going to be given by the receiver coming around, and he gets tripped up. There is a flag. Looks like it's going to be maybe a holding call on Whiteland, but Jacob Burkett, the leading tackler for the Artesians, tripped up the Whiteland runner, but there was a flag thrown in the area of holding. The flag's at about the 35-yard line. But that's what you have to watch out for. It is officially a holding call against Whiteland. They'll redo the second down. But those are the type of things you have to look out for. Whiteland will hand it off up the middle. They'll pitch it on an option. They'll have some jet sweeps from the slot guys or the receivers come through. So there is a lot of different ways that Whiteland can go on the ground. Like I said, they don't really pass it too much. They're not going to threaten it with you in the air, but if you can really shut them down on the ground and force them to throw it in the air, then you can have a big advantage. So 2nd down and 7 coming up for Whiteland. Hands it off to Perry. Perry finds a hole. He's still on his feet, and he has finally dropped at about the 40-yard line. Number 44, Will Nix, the defensive back, coming up and making that tackle. So you've already kind of seen what Whiteland can do. They've had a couple big runs to start this early drive. And Artesian defense really has to be disciplined. You're kind of assigned a guy, and you need to follow that guy or wherever he goes. But with so much misdirection and deception that Whiteland can run in this offense, really have to be a disciplined defense here. Man goes in motion. It's number 32 for Whiteland, and he's the one that gets the football around the right side, and he does get about a 3 or 4 yard pickup. Bring up a 2nd down. That's a good first down run for the Warriors. They got about a 4 yard pickup. Bring up 2nd and 6 for the Warriors. And handoff right up the middle this time, and it's Perry. He's into the 2nd level, and Jacob Burkett drops him. But before he gets across the 40 to about the 36-yard line, and right now the Artesian defense getting gashed a little bit here with the Whiteland run game. Jake Perry, that's his 2nd or 3rd big run on this drive. So it's 1st down for Whiteland, and they're driving. This is something that Martinsville hasn't really seen a whole lot of. The defense has been so well, they haven't had a drive like this where they've been kind of gashed like this. And this time, that's read perfectly. Great job. I believe that was Chase Havlin who came in on that tackle from his defensive end spot, and he read that perfectly. And that's a big, big play for this Martinsville defense. Is dropped for about a 4 yard loss. Chase Havlin had a great game last week at Franklin. I believe he had 4 sacks recorded in that game against the Grizzly Cubs. He's got 5 sacks on the air. 4 of them came last week. Toss play here. Perry gets it, gets close to the original line of scrimmage, but the Artesian defense does a good job there. Number 72 in there from the defensive line. It's Joey Kohler making in there to make the stop. But as Coach Whitson says, you don't usually see one Artesian defender make the tackle. It's usually 2 or 3 guys that are bringing the ball carrier or the receiver down. So here we go, 3rd and long I'm guessing Whiteland's going to be in 4-down territory, but you want to keep it 4th and long if possible. It's going to be a rollout and a pass and a wide open on the 30 and pushed out of bounds, but I think they're going to have the first down. So a first down pass there. The first one from Whiteland is Austin Kirkman. It's only his 5th passing attempt on the year. And he got it to Bryler Metz, number 32 there of Whiteland. Finally forced out of bounds, but it's a first down. First down for the Whiteland Warriors with 8:30 left to go. First quarter opening drive for Whiteland, and they are moving the ball down the field. And Artesians jump there. Looks like Ben Marino a little antsy, so that'll be 5 yards for the Warriors. Be 1st and 5 after the penalty. 'So nice shot there by our cameraman, just right down the line. You can see exactly where that football is. Artesian defense really going to have to tighten it up. They have done really well when the teams have gotten it in the red zone. And dropped at around the 15-yard line, so it's going to be another first down for the Warriors. .7:45 left to go in this first quarter. Opening drive, Whiteland's had it this entire time. Whiteland's mainly attacked on the ground. Jake Perry's had a couple nice runs. Whiteland has had one pass, and it was completed for a first down. Under center. And gives it up the middle. And he is met and pushed back. Christensen there with the carry. He was met by number 26, Weston Pemberton. But still, another 5-yard pickup or close to it on first down. And that really is exactly what Whiteland wants to do. They want to get at least 4 or 5 yards if they can on first down to make second and third much more manageable. They don't want to be in these third and longs. And around the right side, Melvin has it, and he is tackled hard out of bounds, but he's going to be near the first down marker there. Melvin Taylor, the ball carrier, tackled out of bounds. Number 44 in there on the tackle, Will Nix again. So he is going to be just shy of the first down. It's going to bring up 3rd and short from the 6-yard line of the Artesians. Like I said, crowd still pouring in here at Ciderwoods Field. There's a long line along the fence down the way, so not a whole lot of seats available here at Ciderwoods Field. And they do a QB keeper that's going to be, I think, enough for the first down. Needed about a half a yard and get a full yard, I think, as Kirkman in there on the keeper. Should be 1st and goal here. Clock is running. Play clock's at 10 seconds. Whiteland has plenty of time. 1st and goal here. Artesian defense really has to tighten it up. Toss play to Perry. Perry gets tackled. He is going to be shy of the goal line by about a yard. So got about 4 yards there. It's going to be 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. And Whiteland has eaten up 6 minutes here on this opening drive. From the 1, toss play, Perry, he is in, touchdown. Whiteland strikes first. About a 6.5-minute drive. All on the ground except for one pass play, but it did result and a first down. That was a big pass play for Kirkman from Whiteland. It was 3rd and long and completed the pass play for the first down, but most of the damage has been on the ground as Jake Perry in there on the touchdown. That's his 9th rushing touchdown on the year, and that will bring up the kicker, Dalton Spangler, who's only missed 1 extra point so far on the season. That one's a high one, but I believe it is good, and it is. 7-0. Whiteland scores on their opening drive, and they strike first. So something that the Artesians have not been familiar with. They've really have not had to play from behind too often this year. I'm thinking they've only been behind 1 game, and that was against Bloomington South, the home opener early on in the season. They jumped all over Bedford North Lawrence at the opener. Bloomington South, I believe, struck first, but the Artesians were able to battle back and have a great second half. And then something that the Artesians just have not been familiar with, but it is still early, 7-0, 5:35 left to go in this first quarter. And the one good thing, this Artesian defense and this coaching staff just does such a great job at halftime adjustments. Halftime adjustments, they are able to come out in the second half and just do a much better job, fix any minor things that need to be fixed. And they have shut out 3 or 4 different teams in the second half on defense. So we will see what the offense can do. It's a line drive kick taken at about the 5-yard line. Cuts back here on the inside, beats a man, still on his feet and tackled out of bounds at the 35, so a nice return there. Tyler Cox on the return. Good start on special teams, sets the offense up just outside the 35-yard line. It's called the 33-yard line is where they will mark it. So this Artesian offense really needs to get a response here, and they've got 2 guys to do it. Travis Griffey, Isaac Osborne, both like to do their damage on the ground. But Travis Griffey did throw it around a little bit more last week. He's going to do an option here. Osborne has it, puts his head down, gets out to the 35. Actually, no, they're going to say he maybe got a yard, so not much there on that first play. So about a 1-yard pickup there on the option. Travis Griffey now in the shotgun. Under 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Looks one way, gets it to Matt Thomas. Matt Thomas gets it across the 35, falls forward near the 40-yard line. So about a 4-yard pickup there on the pass play. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 5, 3rd and 4 maybe. So important here, the Artesians at least get a first down. You don't want to run your defense back out there. They were out there for a long time, about 6.5 minutes. Whiteland kind of wore them down a little bit, so important for the offense at least here to get a first down, give the defense a little bit of a breather. Third and 4, first quarter here. Griffey pitches it. Osborne makes the man miss. He's going to get it to the outside. He does get the first down. Gets it across the 45 to about the 47-yard line. Great run by Isaac Osborne. Griffey had to pitch that maybe a little earlier than he wanted to, but Osborne was able to make one defender miss, get to the outside a little bit, and now Artesians are going to go quick. Quick snap, and we're going to stop here. I don't see a penalty, but I don't think that the field markers were quite set yet. You have to wait until the chains are set. Coach Whitson not too happy with the official there, slowing down his team. His team wants to go fast. But the official said that the chains on the other side there, the markers were not set, so had to stop it. So no penalty there. 3:40 left to go in the first quarter. Artesians down a touchdown. Griffey looks to pass. Now he hands it off. It's Isaac Osborne. Osborne makes a couple-man miss. Gets a nice hole, still on his feet. Gets it across the 35-yard line. Nice strong run by Isaac Osborne. And now looks like, do we have a penalty? It looks like we do have a penalty. And it looks like it's going to go against the Artesians. Osborne had a huge hole, and it's because there was a holding penalty against the Artesians. So that takes away a huge run by Isaac Osborne. And the official will come and talk with Coach Whitson about the penalty. Whitson not too happy about the call, but after having to erase a big run like that, there's not a whole lot of coaches that would be. I like the play call though. You show pass and then you do a draw play for Osborne and took it up the middle. So keep that play in your playbook. But now 1st and 20 after the 10-yard holding penalty for the Artesians. Low snap, Griffey gets it. Quick toss though to Hopple, and Hopple is met and driven to the ground. Nice open field tackle, number 23, Dakota DeBond on the tackle. Hopple had a great game last week, kind of maybe a breakout game for him. Had 6 catches for 94 yards. Had his first catch tonight right there. Gets it near the original line of scrimmage, maybe 2 yards shy of it, so it'll bring up 2nd and 12 for Martinsville. See when it's a play action. Griffey makes one-man miss. He throws it deep. It's to Hopple, and Hopple's got it. Wow, what a adjustment by Michael Hopple. That football seemed to be in the air forever. Michael Hopple had to wait on it and was able to adjust, outmaneuver his defender, and make the catch. And now the Artesians are going to want to go quick. 2:36 left to go. Now they can go. Griffey gives it to Osborne. Osborne up the middle. Touchdown, Isaac Osborne, and Martinsville responds. See the crowd there, not an empty seat on the Martinsville sideline, and Isaac Osborne with the touchdown, his 7th on the year. And a great response by that offense, and that touchdown was set up by a long pass, Travis Griffey to Michael Hopple. Griffey on the play action, avoided one defender as Caleb Urban kicks it up. It is perfect. We're tied at 7 apiece. 2:29 left to go in the first quarter. But Griffey was able to avoid one defender, throw it up. Michael Hopple was able to kind of wait for it, make a move, and evade his defender, make the catch. Big catch for Michael Hopple. That shows you the speed that Michael Hopple had. He had such a lead on his defender that he was able to slow down and still make the catch. Michael Hopple, a lot of speed there on the outside for the Artesians. Seth Gallion, also a speedster. Andy Myers still injured. Had a huge game against Bloomington South, but then got injured the next game, the Greenwood game. So really, Michael Hopple really needs to pick things up, and so far these last 2 games he has been able to do that. So we're set to kick it off here. Caleb Urban, let's see how he's going to kick it off. Puts his leg into it. It's a line drive off the hands of a Whiteland player, but it's taken at the 10 and taken down just shy of the 25-yard line. That could have gone an interesting way. That was off the hands of a Whiteland player, but then right into the hands of the return man, Melvin Taylor. So good job by the kickoff team to not give up any big plays. 2:24 left to go in this first quarter. Whiteland back on the field for the second time. Let's see if coaching staff and the defense made any adjustments. Whiteland was able to kind of march it downfield with ease on the ground game. Taylor in motion. Perry's the one that has it, though, on the right side. Still on his feet and forced out of bounds about the 35-yard line, so that might be enough for a first down. So a 10 or 11-yard run there by Jake Perry. So Whiteland has done really good job on first down getting big plays like that, but even just those 4 or 5 yard pickups just make second and third down much more manageable. So another first down for Whiteland. Up the middle, it's Perry. And Perry gets it across the 40, maybe the 41-yard line, so another good gain on first down. Artesian defense really has to be disciplined. I mean, you can see it here. There's so much movement and so many options that Whiteland can go to. You really have to be disciplined on who your man is, what your job is. If you're not, that's when big holes can open up. Perry up the middle. Still on his feet. And he's finally pulled down. Jacob Burke in there. Izzy Elliott also in there on the tackle, along with Barry 2 or 3 other Martinsville players. Jake Perry, you can see a strong runner. He was able to move a pile about 2 or 3 extra yards. Coming down to under a minute here this first quarter, tie ball game, but once again, Whiteland is threatening. They're moving the ball. Toss play. Perry has it. Can Havlin get him? No, he can't. Still on his feet and forced out of bounds near the, just shy of the 40 or maybe right at it. About a yard shy or really close to it, yeah. So we bring up 2nd and 1. And that time it was the motion man who got it around the far side, but he's brought down, but gets about 2 or 3 yards, and that's enough for a first down. So Whiteland continues to move the chains. That was Melvin Taylor, the ball carrier on that last play. Not only is it hard for the defense, it's hard for this broadcaster to keep his eye on the football and see who has it. Toss play on the left side. And there is a flag that comes and tackled Artesian's number 44. That's Izzy Elliott, I believe. Nope, check that, Will Nix. Izzy Elliott, 41. But Will Nix in there on that tackle. There is a flag on the play. We'll see what it's about. It's right at the 40-yard line. That stops the clock. It's going to be a holding against Whiteland, so that moves them backwards some. About a 10-yard penalty. So ball will be right at the 50-yard line. Play clock, game clock, pretty much even. So Whiteland, if they don't want to, don't have to run a play. About a half a second differential from the play and game clock. So Whiteland, we'll see if they decide to run a play or not. And they are going to run a play. Kirkman with it, and he gets hit and maybe gets it back to the original line of scrimmage. Quarterback was ruled down by contact, so the ball came loose there on the field. Artesian coaches are saying that they have it. Now there is a huddle near midfield. We'll see what the call is before we take a break here. So we will wrap it up.
Our definition of a relationship is being able to look you in the eye and hear about your concern, hearing about your family, hearing about your job, hearing about your aspirations, getting to know you, and positioning ourselves to help you meet those dreams. Now that sounds pretty old-fashioned, but we're not willing to give that up. We're simply not going to give that up.
For all the banking services you need, there's no place like home.
Join the majority.
And welcome back, everyone. WRAP 15 Sports. Unfortunately, brought you back to a big play by Whiteland. Melvin Taylor took it a sweep along the left side. And we'll see where they mark it. Mark it at the 30-yard line, so it's going to bring up third and short. Thought Melvin Taylor. Garrett Miles had him, but couldn't quite bring Taylor down. He was able to escape the diving tackle. So that brings up third and short coming up from the Artesian 30-yard line. Big play here for the Artesian defense. See if they can force a fourth down play. Man in motion. It's right up the middle. It's Perry. Dives forward, and I think he's got enough right just for the first down. Not much more, but got enough to move the chains, and they did. Just starting the second quarter here at WRAP 15 Sports. First down for Whiteland. They have moved the ball with ease so far in this game. And Perry has it again. He breaks through a hole, and he is finally dropped around the 10-yard line. So that's going to bring up first and goal for the Whiteland Warriors. And Artesian's just not having any answers for this Whiteland offense, especially number one, Jake Perry. He is their go-to runner. Whiteland has a lot of options. They have several ball carriers, but number one is their go-to guy. So first and goal for Whiteland from the Artesian 9. No go there. I think number 32 was the one who ended up with the football. I kind of lost it there, but that was Bryler Metz. But the Artesian defense did a good job, stayed disciplined, and actually I think brought him down for about a 2-yard loss. So nice job by the defense as Metz was dropped behind the line of scrimmage. So second and goal from the 11 now. 10:40 in this second quarter. Here in the background, all the Artesian fans making as much noise they can, try to help out their defense. Melvin, it's going to be a pass play, throws it up, and it is well out of bounds, out of the back of the end zone. So that'll bring up a third and long. This is something the Artesian's defense has been trying to do, is put Whiteland in these third and long situations. Last time Whiteland was in a third and long situation, they were able to successfully get a first down on a pass play. So this is something that Austin Kirkman does not do. He is the backup quarterback after the knee injury from Pelfrey, their starting quarterback to start the season. That was only his 6th pass, and the Artesian coaching staff, the Artesian sideline, trying to rally this Martinsville crowd to get up on their feet and make some noise. Hands it off. It's Taylor. Taylor breaks one tackle. Can he get to the edge? And I think he does. Touchdown, Whiteland, Melvin Taylor.
Melvin Taylor's 4th rushing touchdown of the year. It comes on a 3rd and goal from the 11-yard line.
So Melvin Taylor came from the far side, took it around the near side on the sweep, and was able to get the edge and get it into the end zone on 3rd and 11 from the goal line of the Artesians. Melvin Taylor, that's his 4th rushing touchdown of the year. That one was a big one. If you Artesians get a stop, you either force a 4th down and force the Coach Fisher and the Whiteland coaching staff to make a decision if they want to go for three or go for it, but doesn't matter as the extra point is up, and it is good. So the Whiteland Warriors get the lead back. It's back to a touchdown lead, 14-7. The Artesian offense was able to respond last time Whiteland scored, but defense will have to get some stops. So Artesian defense came up giving up 14.2 points a game, and now early on in the second quarter, Whiteland has 14 on the board. Just kind of shows you how prolific this Whiteland team is. This is a Whiteland team that was down as far as their record goes last year. Won 2 or 3 games all of last season. But things changed in their opener. They were at Columbus East. The Olympians, a 5A powerhouse, a team that has been strong for many, many years, and they were able to get a 26-20 win to open the season. I think that made people aware of what the Whiteland Warriors could do. Their only loss on the year was at Decatur Central, a 14-28 loss. And Martinsville knows how good, and that's a high pooch kick, and it is going to be, was it picked up or was it out of bounds? And Whiteland was able to get it. They kind of do a long onside kick, did it over the front line of the Artesian kick return team, and was able to streak down and get it there on that far sideline. So Whiteland now forces Martinsville's defense to come back on the field, and they have it at the 32-yard line. And the way they've moved the football, this is a time that the Artesian defense needs to get a stop here. Good play call by Coach Fisher. Keep the momentum. Perry up the middle. Ooh, gets hit hard. Will Nix came from his safety spot and just stuck Jake Perry. And I've heard that Will Nix is one of the strongest, hard-hittingest players on this team, and he just proved it. So Jake Perry was kind of held up the defensive line, then Will Nix came to finish it off. So that only about a 1-yard gain, but now this is where the Artesians can't give up any more yards. 2nd and 9 from the Artesian 31 after the onside kick recovery from Whiteland. It's going to be a pass play. Kirkman going back to pass, throws it up. He's got a man. It is caught and touchdown. Whiteland. 2 quick scores, and now this Martinsville crowd a little bit stunned. 20-7 is your score. We got an extra point pending. So Austin Kirkman, not really known for throwing that time, got a rollout. So now the extra point pending here. Extra point is up, and it's good. So Whiteland now up 21-7, 9:26 left to go in this second quarter. Artesians down 2 touchdowns. Probably the most they've been down all season. See a shot there of Chase Havlin, number 89, one of the defensive stars of this Martinsville team, and he came off the field a little gingerly. He's talking to some of the athletic trainers. Not for sure what the injury is. Chase Havlin, hopefully, is that something that he can come back from, is this Artesian defense, even though they have struggled some in this first half, they do need him. He is one of the defensive leaders of this team, and Coach Whitson now is going to have to figure some things out. As the number 4th ranked Whiteland Warriors, 4th in 5A, is out ahead early here against the number 2 ranked Martinsville Artesians. This is a big matchup, 2 versus 4 Mid-State Conference game here. The Artesians back against the wall. This time it is kicked long. And it's going to be a touchback as it was caught with Cox's right foot on the end zone there. Check. That's a touchback. So now the Martinsville Artesian offense has to respond here. So it seems like when the Artesian defense maybe gets a stop or two or gets a little bit of momentum going their way, Whiteland responds. They had Whiteland 3rd and goal from the 11, and they were able to get it in on a sweep play, and then after a 1-yard pickup, the touchdown pass, and that's an option play, and not much there. Osborne maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage or lost a yard or two, and that's something this Whiteland defense, they've seen enough options and sweeps just in practice where they are a pretty disciplined football team. They're not too fooled by those type of plays, and they weren't fooled on that one. 2nd long now coming up for this Artesian offense. They responded after Whiteland scored the first touchdown of the game. Griffey keeps it himself, breaks a tackle, gets it across the 20 to about the 22, 23-yard line. Not much, though. It's going to bring up a 3rd and long situation. Need a first down here. You cannot punt from here and give Whiteland the ball back with a 21-7 lead in the way that their offense is humming right now. So Martinsville Artesian needs a big play right now. 3rd down and 7. Griffey is going to hand it off. Osborne spins, but he cannot escape. Thought he might be able to escape the defender, but couldn't. Number 77 for Whiteland, Matthew Havens on the tackle. So Martinsville will have to punt. So now Martinsville defense just had a lot more pressure put on them. So Urban back to punt this away. Good snap. Takes a Artesian roll, and they will down it at the 39-yard line. So that's where this Whiteland offense will take over. Trying to see if I can find Chase Haviland on this on the field here. He had his shoulder pads off momentarily, but I've lost track of him. I do not see him in his typical defensive end spot, so we'll kind of keep tabs on number 89. And it's a toss play. A nice job by on the far side. I think of Garrett Miles with a big tackle there. Maybe a yard or two loss. It's exactly what the Artesians needed. This Martinsville team, they actually got down against Whiteland last year and ended up coming back to end the first half, then really dominated the second half and was able to escape with a win with a 43-33 win at Whiteland. That's really helped propel this team last year when they had their win streak. And that's just a handoff up the middle and tackled just across the 40-yard line. And there's a shot of Chase Haviland. You see the ice pack on the right shoulder. Chase Haviland, shoulder pads are off, and that is not a good sign if you're an Artesian fan. One of your defensive leaders on the bench with the ice pack around the right shoulder. 3rd and 7 coming up for the Whiteland Warriors. Artesian fans trying to get up on their feet, make some noise for this defense. Really need to force a 4th down here. Defense need to play disciplined football. It's a rollout for Kirkman. Kirkman gets some pressure. He gets dropped from behind at the 40-yard line. It's Ben Marino, the other defensive end. Great job. It's the other defensive end on the opposite side of Chase Haviland. Really stepped up and dropped the quarterback for a loss. So that's going to bring up 4th and long, and this might force a Whiteland punt. Good to see that defense respond. Much needed response there. As Whiteland before that, the offense had just kind of done whatever they wanted to do on the field. But that time, Martinsville defense said no. 4th and 8 now. Punting situation for Whiteland. They've already did one onside kick, and that's on the ground and nearly blocked. It's a high punt. It's out of bounds. We'll see where the official will mark it. Coach Whitson trying to help him out where the ball went out, and is going to walk it up right at midfield. So the Martinsville offense will have a good starting field position. Artesians get a break, a bad snap. Punter got some pressure and kind of hit it off the side of his foot. See Coach Whitson, the coaching staff, getting the offense out there right at midfield. 5:21 left to go in this second quarter. Artesians down 21-7 to Whiteland. But Martinsville will get the ball at the start of the half, so you get a score here. Cut this lead to a touchdown, you should feel okay. Griffey by himself. It's going to be a keeper. Puts his shoulder pads down and just goes. Got a 4 or 5 yard pickup there on the quarterback run. That's something that Travis Griffey, big, strong kid, listed at 6'2", 210. He's going to do it again. He's going to have to avoid one tackler, and he can't. Number 56 of Whiteland, Alex Reed, read that perfectly. He's got 9 tackles for loss coming into tonight's game. He just got his 10th one there. So Artesians run the same play back-to-back, and the first play gets him some yards. The second one, not so much. 3rd down and 8 for Martinsville. Let's see if they put it through the air or they keep it on the ground. Isaac Osborne is in the backfield with Griffey this time. Griffey back to pass. He's got plenty of time, but there's no one open. He is scrambling. He's all the way back to his 40. Gets it to his receiver, Matt Thomas, but Thomas is going to be shy of the sticks by about 2 yards. Let's see what Coach Whitson does here. 4th and 2 from the Warrior 42-yard line. I would guess that Coach Whitson's going to go for it here. He knows that Martinsville needs points. You can't just give it back to Whiteland again. Gives it to Osborne. Osborne gets it to the outside. He's not going to get it. He is going to be short. He tried to bounce it off to the outside, and it's going to be turnover on downs. The defense has to come back out. Whiteland offense will come back out on the field as well as the Artesians. 4th and 2. Osborne could not escape that near side of the defense. And now the defense, after a good stand last time, they're going to have to do it again. 4:06 left to go in this first half. So the Artesian offense, they've kind of stalled a little bit. Their first drive resulted in a touchdown, but so far, not much. Melvin Taylor now on the far side, and he is tackled at midfield there on the far side. And I think Will Nix there on the tackle again, coming from his safety spot. So right at midfield is where the ball will be at. 2nd down and about 3 coming up for the Warriors. Will Nix has had some good plays, some really hard hits, and that was one, because if Melvin Taylor gets by Will Nix, that's another 6 points for Whiteland, I believe. 2nd down for the Warriors. Hands it off. This time it's up the middle, and he gets the first down. Perry gets it across to the 46-yard line, and that's enough for the first down. So Whiteland moving the football again, and they're looking to score. And if they go up 28-7, puts a lot of pressure on the Artesians in this second half. Taylor gets it around on the far side, still on his feet, and that's about an 8 or 9 yard pickup there. Number 23, Josh Ham, the defensive end that's in there for Chase Haviland, just had a couple times where he's come close to bringing Taylor down on that sweep play, but just can't quite get to him. So it's another 8-yard run on first down for the Artesians. And same play, and tackled at the 35-yard line. Don't know if Coach Fisher knows that Chase Haviland is out of the game, so he keeps going to that around the left side of that Whiteland line. 2:16 left to go in this first half. The clock is rolling, so Whiteland does have all their timeouts left, but they are in Artesian territory. Here comes Taylor again, but he's not going to get it this time. It's going to be Perry up the middle, breaks the tackle, gets to the second, and he is still on his feet, and he will score. Jake Perry broke probably 2 or 3 tackles on that run. And another touchdown for Whiteland, and they are up 27-7 with an extra point coming up. 28 points. And this is the most points that the Artesian defense has given up against anyone all season. The most before that was 21 points to Bedford North Lawrence, and that game, a lot of JV and freshman players played most of the second half. Bloomington South scored 20 in the first half, and now 28 points for the Warriors, and this Martinsville crowd that was really rocking is now a bit stunned and kind of quiet. 1:55 left to go. Offense will have some time to get some points on the board, and they will need it. Coach McKinney there will talk to his defense. The good thing about this Artesian team is, like I said, they do a great job of halftime adjustments, and this defense has come out in the second half and shut out opponents 3 or 4 different times. So you're just kind of hoping that coaching staff can make some of these corrections, fix some things here, and offense can also get some things clicking. This is a big game too, and it's obviously a conference game. But Whiteland is a team, and it's another onside kick there, and it is taken, but it's out of bounds. But at least the Artesians there, number 13 for Martinsville. Adam Field wisely went to go get it. Last time, Artesian players kind of got away from it, or at least didn't attack the football, and Whiteland was able to recover the kick and led to their 3rd score of the night. So at least now the Artesians will get the ball 28-7. 1:55 left to go. Our Artesians, I believe, have all 3 of their timeouts. And the clock will stop at every first down. So Artesians really need to get a touchdown here going into the locker room with a little bit of momentum. Low snap. Quick pass over there to Seth Gallion. Gallion gets it across the 40. It's about the 43-yard line. So a nice first down play for the Artesians. About a 5-yard, 6-yard pickup there. And after last 2 possessions the offense has had, it's kind of stalled a little bit, so it's good to see a 5 or 6 yard pickup on first down. Offense just hasn't really had a lot of time to get some rhythm. Defense has been out most of the on the field most of the time. And the offense really hasn't been on the field a whole lot. Had that first drive that ended up with 7 points, but then has come up empty-handed the rest. Osborne has it around the far side. That cannot escape that tackle. Nice open field tackle, number 23 for Whiteland, Dakota DeBon. And that drops Osborne for a loss. And Isaac Osborne kind of struggling to get some rhythm. Had a nice run in the first quarter, but it was taken away by a holding penalty. Like I said, Whiteland defense has seen option in those sweep plays just every day in practice because that's the style that their offense runs, so really going to be hard to get them an option play here. Griffey keeps it. He's going to throw it downfield to Hopple. Hopple bats it in the air, and it is picked off. Whiteland has it and tackled at the 37-yard line. And there is a personal foul roughing the passer against Whiteland. Travis Griffey was banged up. Hopefully he's okay. I did not see the hit. I was following the football, but it was a roughing the passer, so that will take away the interception and give the Artesians an automatic first down and 15 yards. Or was the personal foul after the interception? It might have been. It's roughing the passer. So it is a first down Martinsville. So it was not after the interception. It was, I'm guessing, when Griffey threw it, he got hit. But that is a huge, huge sigh of relief for the Artesians, because Whiteland would have had the ball in the Artesian territory with all three of their timeouts and a 28-7 lead. So now maybe that's the play that gives Martinsville some new life. But Travis Griffey is out. It's number 8, Xavier Tenitis, who is the backup quarterback. We'll have to see. And Tenitis, he's going to get some pressure, throws a screen pass. And believe that's Isaac Osborne. It is. He gets it across the 40. So Travis Griffey will come back out on the field. He gives the coach a thumbs up. So Griffey comes back after the screen pass by Xavier Tenitis. So good job by Tenitis to fill in on and get about a 6-yard pickup on that pass. And we've got a Martinsville timeout with 42.9 seconds left. So the last 2 minutes of this game, a lot of roller coaster emotions if you're a Martinsville fan. Thought that Whiteland had an interception and was going to get the ball back in Artesian territory, but the roughing the passer penalty against the Warriors negated that and gave Artesians new life. But they still really need to punch this in. The ball is at the 39-yard line of the Warriors, 2nd and 4. Artesians desperate for a touchdown here. They will get the ball to start the second half. Griffey's hit Michael Hopple with a long pass in the first quarter. Tried to get it to him last time, but it went off his hands after getting hit. Quick pass there to Thomas. Thomas gets hit immediately. Did he hang on to the football? I believe he did, and he did get enough for the first down, so that will stop the clock momentarily as they reset the chains. So Martinsville will not have to use a timeout here as the clock is stopped, and as soon as they run it, Artesians will probably snap it. Griffey back to pass again. Good protection, rolls to his right. He's going to throw across his body. Dangerous pass for Garrett Miles, and it is intercepted. Diving interception by Whiteland, and now we've got another injured Martinsville player. I think that was Garrett Miles who went out and dove for that football. His helmet came off. Griffey was rolling to his right. Dangerous pass. He kind of threw it across the other side of the field, tried to hit Garrett Miles. And the ball was in the air for an awful long time, and it was able to be picked off by the Warriors. So good to see Garrett Miles at least sitting up. Garrett Miles able to get up and jog off. I think he was trying to jog off, but coaches didn't want him to, so trainers will walk him to the sideline. So Whiteland will have it at the 20-yard line with 25.8 seconds left. We'll see what Coach Fisher does here. He has all 3 of his timeouts remaining. He's got to go 80 yards in 25 seconds. And it looks like Whiteland is just going to go into a tight victory formation and just take a knee, and they will be satisfied with going into the locker room with a 28-7 lead. So the Artesians and the coaching staff have some work to do at halftime, but we will be back with the third quarter after this.
Sportsmanship doesn't happen just on the court or on the field or on the mat. It doesn't happen only in the pool or on the green or the track. It also happens in the stands, on the sidelines, on the web, and at home. That's because sportsmanship is everyone's responsibility. We remind you to practice good sportsmanship at all high school sporting events. Treat athletes and officials with respect during competition and especially in social media. And support your team's coaching staff. Remember, sportsmanship has a face, yours. A message from your high school and the Indiana High School Athletic Association.
And welcome back, everyone. WREP 15 Sports. The Artesians will take the opening kickoff from about the 2-yard line. It's Tyler Cox, spins, but not a lot of running room there. So Whiteland does a good job to limit the return. I was interested to see just how the Artesians came out of the locker room, down 20-7, not in a position they've ever been all season. And they came out pretty well, pretty energetic. I didn't see a lot of walking or players with their heads down. So I think the coaching staff has got this team believing that they're not out of it. There's a whole half of football. They're down 21 points, yes, and this offense is going to have to do something here on this drive to get back in it. But this game's not over. Fakes the handoff. Griffey's going to look to pass. He's got pressure. He's going to tuck it and run. He gets to the 25, across the 25 to 26-yard line. That's a first down or close to it. That is a first down. Good job by the Artesians. Griffey there on the run. Good blocking up front. He had plenty of time, just didn't want to force anything. He's already thrown an interception to end the first half. He's going to run it himself there on the far side. He's got a lead blocker. And forced out of bounds. They're on the 30-yard line, close to it. It's about a 3-yard pickup there. Griffey on the keeper. So Whiteland leads it by 21 points. Artesian offense, they responded early in the first quarter. After Whiteland scored first, Artesians came right back and tied it up. But since then, just Artesian offense has kind of been a little stagnant. Quick pass to Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson with the catch, lowers the shoulder, still on his feet, gets it near the 45-yard line. Good to see Brian Johnson back. Came back last week after a hamstring injury, kept him out early in this season. But good to see him there, the senior. Up and bounces off, spin move, Osborne. It's about a 3 or 4 yard pickup there. So this offense getting a little bit of rhythm. Good to see a long touchdown reception by Brian Johnson. And Griffey, he threw that just enough where it wasn't picked. That was kind of close, but was able to zip it to Johnson. And then Osborne got another 2 or 3 yards on that last run. Here the crowd still into it. They're still here. Quick pass to Thomas. Thomas gets hit. Ball's dropped, but it's an incomplete pass. Thomas really never had it. He got hit immediately as soon as the ball got to him, and he is on the far side, a little slow getting up, but on his feet. That's going to bring up a 3rd and long. So that's unfortunate. You know, 2nd down, you don't get anything, and turn the 3rd and 8. So Artesians need a 1st down. They need more than a 1st down on this drive if they want to claw their way to this. Down 21. 10:52, still early here in this 3rd quarter. The second half just getting started. Griffey option, pitches it, and it's dropped. And I don't know who jumped on it, but I think Martinsville got it. But that is going to be 4th and long, and that might force Martinsville to punt this away. So unfortunately, what looked to be a promising drive after the incomplete pass on 2nd down, and then the fumbled option on 3rd brings up 4th and long, and Martinsville's forced to punt, and going to put a lot of pressure on your defense to stop this Whiteland offense, which they've really only been able to do one time. Forced a Whiteland punt. Caleb Urban really had to go back to get that. Luckily he did, and a nice punt by Urban, and that's going to take a Artesian roll, and it's going to be down inside or right at the 20 or 20-yard line is where it will be marked. So good job by Caleb Urban. Had to almost catch that over his shoulder and then punt that on the run. So we'll see what type of adjustments this Martinsville defense has and the coaching staff has made here. Whiteland has done a phenomenal job with the ground game and also surprised a couple of people here. As Whiteland came in, the quarterback, Austin Kirkman, only came in for 2 and 4. 4 attempts, 2 completions. No touchdown passes of any kind. And they've had some work through the air in this first half. Also has a passing touchdown. It looks like there was a penalty. I missed that, but it was a 10-yard penalty. So that moves Whiteland back on their own 10-yard line. So Whiteland is backed up at their own 10. Artesian defense really needs to either A, force a turnover or get a 3 and out. If you're just joining us, Chase Havlin out of the game, had a shoulder injury. Shoulder pads are off. He is on the sideline. Artesians have to do their job here. Not quite sure what the rest of the delay is. I think now we're ready to go. And there's some movement up front. I don't know if this is going to be. And actually there was no flag. I think the little miscommunication on Whiteland on the snap count. I think the center snapped the ball and the rest of the offense was not ready for that. So that turned in for a 1-yard loss. So Artesians get a bit of a break there as Whiteland a mental mistake. Fortunately for Whiteland, they didn't fumble that ball and just had a 1-yard loss. But now 2nd and 11 from the 9. And on the outside, and nice tackle there on the far side. See who that was. That was 44 once again. I believe that's Will Nix. It was. He's made several tackles so far. So that's going to bring up 3rd and long. This is where the Artesians need to get a stop. Big tackle by Nix because Melvin Taylor ran that sweep play going on that far side. If he gets past Nix, that's going to be for a big run. 3rd and long, big play here. Kirkman rolls out, throws it, has a man wide open. It is thrown low. Is it caught? It is, but I think it's going to be, and the far official says it's incomplete. The official nearest said it was complete, but it was actually incomplete. I don't think it would have been enough for the 1st down anyway, so that's going to bring up 4th down and force Whiteland into a punting situation, and their punter is going to be deep in their own end zone. So the Artesians can really change momentum here if you can get a block or force a bad snap. Now there was already one bad snap. The only time Whiteland's punted, it was a low snap and barely got it off. Whiteland's punter has his heels at the edge of the end zone. It's a good snap, a little pressure, and that's going to drive Gallion back, and he's going to get it on a hop, but there's nowhere to go, and he is going to be tackled at the 40. So good punt, good coverage by Whiteland, and Martinsville will have to start at their own 40-yard line, make it the 39-yard line. So offense, 8:33 left to go in this third quarter, and if they're going to make a move here, their defense did the job, forced a three and out in a punting situation for Whiteland. But if the Artesian team is going to claw their way back in, the offense, I would say, needs to score a touchdown here. Now, you don't have to abandon your game plan quite yet, but you do need to move the ball and get into that end zone, make it a 28-14 game. And Gallion has it, makes one man mix, makes another, and gets it across the 40, and that's going to be a horse collar tackle. Looked like the Whiteland player got inside the collar of Gallion, so that should be, we'll see what type of penalty, if it's a 15-yard penalty or what, but there was a flag, and it's going to go against Whiteland on the tackle against Gallion. It is a personal foul, horse collar tackle against Whiteland. So it was only going to be about a 3 or 4 yard pickup. Now is a big gainer for the Artesians after the penalty. So that's a 15-yard first down for Martinsville. Now they're in Whiteland territory. So we'll see how the Martinsville offense responds there. See if we can get Isaac Osborne going. He's been kept quiet. They give it to Osborne this time. Spins, still on his feet, and will be tackled at the 39-yard line. Tried to stop and I think cut back to his right, but couldn't find any running room, but was able to get about a 4 or 5 yard pickup there on that run. So they've ran that play a couple times where Griffey shows that he's going to pass and then hands it off to Osborne on kind of a draw play. And it's worked. That time Osborne just takes it right up the middle himself. Runs over a Whiteland player around the 30-yard line for a Artesian first down. Now you kind of feel Martinsville getting into a little bit of rhythm, getting a little bit of mojo going here for the Artesians. Osborne takes it. Gets a tough 2 or 3 yard pickup there. As long as you're falling forward, that's what the Artesians need to do. They can score here, keep Whiteland out of the end zone. You've got a shot if you're down 2 scores in the fourth quarter. Griffey, he's going to go back to pass. He's trying to get to Matt Thomas. Matt Thomas goes up for it. It is incomplete. Thomas had his defender one-on-one. It was just kind of trying who could out-jump who. Thomas has a 2 or 3 inch height advantage on his defender, but couldn't quite get it. Griffey threw it up to him. Couldn't come down with it. 3rd and 8, though. Ball's at the 27 of Whiteland. At least get a few yards to make this 4th down manageable here. Last thing you want to do is get a loss or a no gain, but you at least need to get 3 or 4 yards to make 4th down a little more manageable. 3rd and 8. Griffey, quick pass, and it is incomplete. I thought Gallion might have had it. Just couldn't quite hang on to it. If Gallion would have came down with it, he would have been close to the first down, but now you've got a very, very big 4th down coming up. This is kind of what happened last time Martinsville had the ball in this third quarter. They had a little bit of a drive going, but stalled out and had to punt it. This time, though, it's 4th down, 8 yards to go. Artesians looking to get a first down. Keep the ball out of Whiteland's hands. Griffey back to pass. He's going to scramble. He's going to go to the right side. There's nobody on the right side if he can outrun him. He's going to try to get to the edge. He dives and gets hit hard. He's going to be shy of the first down. Griffey took a shot there on the far side. And I think Griffey was about 3 yards shy of that. I thought he might have enough room to get it. He rolled left, went back to his right, and there was a lot of green, but Whiteland's defense, their defensive backs came up once Griffey crossed that line of scrimmage. Griffey did everything he could to get to that first down marker, but was about 4 yards shy of it. So now the defense back out on the field. They need to stop. Toss play on the far side. Forced out of bounds. Not sure how much yardage that offensive play gave Whiteland. Couple yards, but that is a much improved defense there as opposed to the first half when Whiteland, it seemed every time they had the ball first down, they were able to get 5 or 6 yards and made it second down and manageable. You keep Whiteland in second, third, and long situations, that's going to be tough on them. So good job of the Artesian defense there on that first. And see who that is. That is number 32 of Whiteland. That's Metz who gets tackled, spun around, and bring up third and about 6 maybe for the Warriors. So Artesians have a chance to do another 3 and out. Like I said in the first half, this Artesian team has just done such a nice job adjusting in the second half. And Taylor gets pushed back and nowhere to go. Not much of a gain. It's going to bring up fourth down. Nice defensive stand by the Artesian defense. That's going to force Whiteland into a punting situation. But you've got 5:40 left to go in the third quarter, and you're still down 3 scores. So the offense really needs to punch one in here before the end of this quarter. I also think on the sideline, Garrett Miles got hurt in that right before the end of the first half, and I think he is going to be ruled out. Pads are off. He is on the sideline as that punt takes a Whiteland roll and gets to about the 27-yard line. And Martinsville offense will take over. So Martinsville offense got a little bit of rhythm going the last 2 times out, but unfortunately they stalled out. Had to force a punt after a fumble on a option play on third down, and then fourth down, and I believe it was 7. Griffey looking to pass, scrambled, tried to get some open space on the right side of his offensive line, but couldn't find any and had to turn it over on down. So we'll see what Artesians have this time. Griffey rolls out, throws it low. Is it caught? It is. Nice catch there on that far side. I think that was Michael Hopple, number 22, over there on that far side that made that catch. So you've got Seth Gallion, Michael Hopple, and Brian Johnson over on that far side, and then Michael Thomas by himself on this near side. So 2 injuries for the Artesians, Chase Haviland and Garrett Miles both. And Michael Hopple lowers his shoulder, still on his feet, gets it across the 35 to the 36. So that's going to bring up third and short coming up for the Artesians here. Third and about 2 coming up for Martinsville. Actually, third and 1. So you've got 2 strong runners here, Griffey and Osborne. Let's see what they do. They're going to try an option. Osborne has the first down. Good job. Gets tackled across the 40 for the first down. That option play has not really worked for the Artesians so far tonight, but that time it did. It was enough for the first down. So now Martinsville looking at the sideline for the play. Griffey going to keep it himself. Across the 50, goes across to the 45-yard line as he is tackled from behind. Number 11 of Whiteland there with the tackle. That's Jalen Dunlap. But a first down run by Travis Griffey. Like I said, this Artesian offense now in the second half starting to click a little bit, getting a little bit of rhythm, but nothing to show for it so far. Still 3:50 left to go in the third quarter. I think, in my opinion, now obviously anything can happen, but I feel the Artesians really need to score. And if they're down 2 scores in the fourth quarter, there's still a chance. Low snap, fakes the handoff. Now Griffey nowhere to go, but is able to still muscle his way for about a 2-yard pickup. That looked like a play that was going to be blown up for maybe a loss, but Griffey's strong enough to at least get it out across the line of scrimmage and fall forward for 2 yards. 2nd and 8 now for the Artesians. So Artesians kind of taking their time, figuring out the play. We'll see in the fourth quarter if they have to run a little bit quicker because they'll be down going into the fourth quarter. Under 3 minutes here in the third quarter. Hands it off right at the middle. Osborne shakes one defender but cannot get away from the other 2 defenders. But that brings up 3rd and 1 again for the Artesians, and they hustle it up to the line. Let's see if they snap it quick. Is it going to be Griffey or Osborne? It's going to be Osborne. Osborne has the first down, lowers his shoulder, gets it to the 30-yard line, so has the first down and a few yards more. So offense clicking. Tyler Cox going to come in and give Isaac Osborne a bit of a spell. This is probably the longest that the Whiteland defense has been out on the field since that first opening drive that Martinsville has had. So they've been pretty fresh most of this game, but Martinsville starting to wear them down a little bit. Low snap, picks it up, gives it to Cox. Tyler Cox, huge hole. Still on his feet, gets it across the 15-yard line. Great hole by that offensive line. Cannot give them enough credit. That was a huge hole that Tyler Cox just found and went right up the gut. They're going to give it to Cox again. Tyler Cox, that time not as much, but does fall forward to about the 9 or 8-yard line. 2 minutes to go. Artesians trying to punch it in here before the end of the third quarter. Martinsville getting the play from the sideline. It's 15 seconds on the play clock, still plenty of time. You want to make sure this play call is correct here. Have to get this into the end zone. Griffey's going to keep it. Breaks one tackle, still on his feet. He's in, touchdown. Artesians, Travis Griffey breaks the tackle that would have brought him down behind the line of scrimmage, but he scores, and he brings the Artesians a little bit closer. They needed that. 28-13 now with the Caleb Urban extra point coming up. Travis Griffey a little dinged up. He's coming off the field limping just a little bit. Kick is up. It is good. Caleb Urban still perfect from extra point. I know Coach Whitson doesn't like to see Travis Griffey take some of those hits, and he has taken a few hits. That time he made it into the end zone a little hobbly coming off the field, but he did what he needed to do. Got the Artesians on the scoreboard again, 28-14. 124 left to go. Now, the Artesian defense can not give up any big plays here and force another 3 and out either before this quarter or at the first part of the fourth quarter. Give the ball back to the Artesian offense. If they can score it again quick in that fourth quarter, then this is a brand new ball game. Martinsville starting to get the momentum back. The crowd is in it. Full crowd here at Siderwitz Field. Not a whole lot of open spots available on this sideline. making some noise. We'll see what Coach Whitson does here. I'm guessing that he's probably going to just have Caleb Urban boot this as far as he can unless he sees something that he thinks he can exploit. It's an onside kick, and it is. It's close. I can't see. Did Whiteland jump on top of it? I think Whiteland did. That was close. Caleb Urban, that onside kick was just about perfect. You can't really ask much more from that. Urban had to wait for it to go 10 yards, but Whiteland was able to jump on it. So I feel like that's a good play call because this defense in this second half, this third quarter, has done really, really well. And you know you need to get points on the board. So try to get the ball back for your offense. You came close. It's going to be a pass play. Kirkman going. He's got a man wide open. Caught at the 30. Will Nix is going to try to catch him, and he will. But a huge pass play for the Whiteland Warriors, and that just took a lot of energy out of this stadium. And that's what happens when Whiteland, when they run. If they throw a pass play in there, a lot of defenses aren't ready for it. And that time, had the ball at midfield, first down, decide to go for it on the pass play, and now you've got first and goal from the 3. Huge play for Whiteland as that, I think the quarterback tried to keep that. Nowhere to go. Maybe got a yard. And I don't think Kirkman and Whiteland, the offense, is going to be in any huge hurry to snap it here. They've got the ball exactly where they want it. Second and goal from the Artesian 2-yard line, and they'll have to run a play here. But I'm sure they will go into the fourth quarter in this position and be just fine with that. And we've got a stoppage of play here. Not sure what. I believe it's an official's timeout. I didn't see him signal any way or the other if it was a Martinsville or Whiteland timeout, so I don't know if there was. All right, now we're ready. I don't know what that was about. Looks like one of the offensive linemen was kind of pointing on the field like something was on the field that shouldn't be. I don't know if maybe it was an equipment problem or what, but the clock is rolling now. Could be the last play of the quarter. We'll see. Artesians trying to desperately keep Whiteland out of the end zone. Toss play to Perry. Perry, touchdown, Whiteland, and they respond. Another touchdown for Whiteland. That's going to be 34-14. And that was the answer that Whiteland needed. Martinsville had all the momentum. Coach gambles and does the onside kick, which I don't blame him. That's a good call. You need the ball back. You need points, and had some momentum. Came close to getting it, but couldn't quite get it. But Whiteland with a deep pass play that set them up for first and goal. And they're ready to kick this extra point and go back up 21 with only 19 seconds left to go in the third quarter. And it is good. Actually, no, it's not good. So kind of make a note there. So it's a 20-point game now, 34-14 on the missed extra point. That's the second missed extra point by the Whiteland kicker this season. So we'll see. You never know. That could come back and haunt Whiteland. So the 5-0, number 2 ranked Martinsville Artesians, 3-0 in the conference. In a little bit of trouble here against the Whiteland Warriors. They come in ranked 4th in 5A. They are 4-1, 2-1 in conference. Their only loss was against Decatur Central. Now the Artesians beat Decatur Central here at Siderwoods Field, 18-15. It was a tough game. Decatur Central made a lot of mistakes. They committed several penalties. I think they had almost over 200 yards of penalty yardage, and Artesians were able to get an 18-15 win. And then they beat Franklin last week Whiteland defeated Perry Meridian 52-17 last week. Martinsville fans still in it, still trying to get this this team rallied up here. Kick is going to be taken by Tyler Cox at the 5-yard line. And makes a couple miss and gets pushed out of bounds just before he gets to the 30. So a nice, decent return by Tyler Cox there. 12 and a half seconds left to go in the third quarter. Martinsville will run one more play at least here in the third quarter. So Martinsville still has one quarter of play here, and it would be quite the comeback if they could pull it off. We'll see. There's time to do it. And keep in mind that missed extra point, that could be real interesting if this game gets tight. Griffey fakes the run, dumps it off to Osborne. Osborne, nice little run, lowers his shoulder, gets it across the 35-yard line near the first down marker, but that will do it for the third quarter of play. So Martinsville down on the scoreboard, 34-14. We'll see if they can make a fourth quarter comeback after this.
Join the majority.
Our definition of a relationship is being able to look you in the eye and hear about your concern, hearing about your family, hearing about your job, hearing about your aspirations, getting to know you, and positioning ourselves to help you meet those dreams. Now that sounds pretty old-fashioned, but we're not willing to give that up. We're simply not going to give that up.
For all the banking services you need, there's no place like home.
And welcome back, everyone. At Sadowitz Field, WREP 15 Sports. Eric Burns here to give you the fourth and final quarter of this Mid-State Conference matchup between the Artesians and the Warriors. Artesians down 20. Quick pass there. It is caught on the far side. Trying to see who that is. I think it's Matt Thomas. It is, and he gets the first down after being tackled out of bounds. So Artesians here down 3 scores. Need to kind of score in a hurry. Can't take too much time because you know Whiteland is going to run the ball quite a bit. They have attacked through the air some. And I think we've got an injured Artesian on the far sideline. Can't see who it is, kind of surrounded by Whiteland training staff, so Artesians will go to the sideline and get some instructions by the coaching staff. They've got a first down. Ball's at the 41-yard line of Martinsville. They can get a big play here, score quick. This game is still in reach for Martinsville. This is not a gimme for Whiteland. And Matt Thomas is up and on his own feet. I saw him, I thought, kind of reaching for his toes. I think he maybe just cramped up a little bit there, so he'll come out for a short while. So first down coming up for the Artesians, and really would love to see a quick strike here for a score, but you do need to score on this possession, I think, in my opinion. Low snap. Griffey rolls to his right. He's going to try to go deep to Gallion. He's got, Gallion just could not catch up to it. Gallion had his defender beat. If Seth Gallion catches that, that's the big strike you need, because I think Seth Gallion outruns his man and walks into the corner of the end zone. But Gallion could not catch up to it, so that's second down coming up for Martinsville. That would have been great if you could have that. Griffey going to run it himself as Isaac Osborne is a lead blocker. Gets a nice block from Seth Gallion. Still on his feet. He's at the 40. Forced out of bounds, tackled out of bounds. Is there going to be a flag? There is no flag. Wow. Travis Griffey is hobbling. He got hit low, out of bounds. Coach Whitson is not happy. We'll see how this affects Travis Griffey. I am surprised there is no penalty flag on that. Travis Griffey was clearly running out of bounds, and not only did he get tackled while he was out of bounds, got tackled low. So we'll see what Travis does. He likes to do so much with his leg. We'll see if it affects him. Gives it to Osborne that time. Osborne still on his feet, still going. Gets it to the 25-yard line, so that's another first down for the Artesians. And we still have 11:31 left, and the clock will stop to move the chains. So like I said, Artesians, if they can score here and still have about 10 minutes left on the clock, be down 2 scores, then this game not over by any means. But the defense will have to do their job, obviously, but had a strong third quarter. Obviously, the onside kick that wasn't recovered put them in a tough spot, and Whiteland converted on a long pass that set them up for first and goal, and that's how they got their last touchdown at the end of the third quarter. Isaac Osborne breaks one tackle. That was a high tackle, but if you're going to tackle Isaac Osborne, you're going to have to do it low because you're not going to be able to bring him down at the shoulder pads. So Artesians in the red zone. Ball's at the 20-yard line. So that will be a first down for Martinsville. We'll see where they spot it after the penalty. It's going to be inside the 10-yard line at the 8. So the personal foul against Whiteland gives the Artesians first and goal from the Warriors' 8. Can Martinsville punch it in here? Make this a ball game. Low snap, Griffey keeps it himself. He's going to try to get the edge, spins, still on his feet, and gets across the 5 to the 4. Didn't get out of bounds, so the clock's still going to roll. 10-11 left to go in the fourth quarter. Griffey has taken some shots. Now it's going to stop because a Whiteland player is down. And he is Whiteland player. That's number 23. Came up hurt, and that's Dakota DeBaum. And Dakota DeBaum's made some big plays for Whiteland. He's going to have to come off, and he is limping a little bit. So he'll come off on his own power, so that's good to see. But number 23 for Whiteland's made some plays for them so far tonight. And the clock will roll now. Ten minutes left to go now in this game. Artesians need to score here. Osborne goes out, and touchdown Griffey on his own. Nice block there that helped sprung him from the O-lineman. Artesian students love it. Artesian fans also. 9:47 left to go. The Artesians, I thought that if you could score with about 10 minutes left, this will be a game. It's a 14-point game now. Remember that missed extra point that Whiteland had. Caleb Urban sets up for his extra point try. It is up. It looks good. It is good. So the extra point is good. 34-21. So it's a 13-point game now for Martinsville. Now there is an injured Martinsville Artesian after the extra point try. Cannot see who it is. Students still in it. Cannot see who the injured Martinsville player is. Coach Whitson is talking to his coaching staff. I think it might just be a cramp the way they're treating this. Temperatures is still a little warm for this part of September, so cramping still an issue. And it's Brian Johnson, number 9. Johnson was injured by a hamstring injury early in the season. Hopefully that's not what it is, and it's just a cramp. It was treated, they were kind of treating it like a cramp, but he'll go off on the sideline. And the Artesian defense now, it'll be their turn to see what they can do. So we'll see what Coach Whitson does here. Now, last time they were in this situation, they tried the onside kick, didn't get it. And he kicks it long, kicks it deep, and that is not returnable. That hits the back of the end zone. So no chance for Whiteland to return it. Now the defense needs to step up. They did a really strong job in the third quarter. Gave up one long pass play that led to a Whiteland score, but for the most part did a really nice job. So defense can force a 3-and-out, or even better, a turnover here. Then things get real interesting. 9:47 left to go in the fourth quarter. Still plenty of time. Artesian's down 13. You can definitely say the second half has gone much better for Martinsville than the first half did. Up the middle, nowhere to go. Gang tackled, not much room there. Martinsville defense, coaching staff, we've preached it all season long. With this second half that this defense has done is just phenomenal coaching staff and all the adjustments that they make. In the first half, it seemed like Whiteland could do no wrong. And now the coaching staff, the players on the sideline, trying to get this Martinsville crowd, which has been making noise all night, getting them on their feet, making as much noise as possible, making it hard for Whiteland. It's going to be a pitch play. Come up, nice tackle, number 47 for Martinsville. I think it's Ben Balsarac. Great tackle there by him, limits that play. So that's going to bring up a third and long situation. Martinsville, crowd up, making some noise. Guy with the megaphone making a lot of noise. Third down, 3rd and 7 coming up. Huge play for this Martinsville defense. Can they get a stop and force Whiteland to punt it? Up the middle, Perry not going to get it. He's going to be about 2 or 3 yards shy of it. So that's going to bring up 4th down, and more than likely a punting situation for Whiteland. They'll bring out their punt team, and we think that the offense of Martinsville will get another shot. 8:13 left to go. Clock still running. Defense has done a phenomenal job. Number 23, Josh Ham in there. Injured Chase Havlin. Now, Artesians, I doubt there'll be any type of fake here, but you never know. You always want to be ready for something. Brings a little bit of pressure, but a horrible punt for Whiteland, and that is a huge break for Martinsville. That went off the side of the punter's foot, and Martinsville will get great starting field position. They'll get it almost at the 35-yard line. Call it the 35-yard line. Artesian fans saying they need to keep walking, but the officials will mark it at the 35-yard line, and now Martinsville, the momentum on their side. And now Coach Evans trying to quiet the crowd down. And they do it. And a high snap, and that's trouble. Griffey's just got to get on it. And that's a huge, huge loss for Martinsville. The high snap over the head of Griffey, and that is a huge loss for Martinsville. So 2nd and now forever for Martinsville. Griffey hands it off to Osborne, and Osborne, they sniff that out. All the momentum that Martinsville had and the energy, the great starting field position after the high snap. 3rd and 25. You at least want to get this on the other side of the 50 if you even think about going forward on 4th down. That ball is at the 43-yard line of the Artesians. This drive started on the Whiteland 35 after the shanked punt by Whiteland. Low snap, ball's on the ground, and it's going to be recovered by Whiteland. And might want to mark down that possession because that is maybe where things swung Whiteland's way. Artesian defense did a great job, got a 3-and-out, forced a bad Whiteland punt. Martinsville offense had it on the 35-yard line. If they would have scored, that would have made it a one-possession game, but a high snap dropped the Artesian offense back on the other side of the 50, and then another poor snap gives Whiteland the football at the 40-yard line of Martinsville. 6:40 left to go. Artesian still down only 2 scores. Toss play. Hard tackle, hard hit there, nowhere to go. Will Nix again in there on the tackle. And Martinsville will start using timeouts. So Coach Whitson will call a timeout. 6:29 left to go in this fourth quarter of play. So the first timeout taken by the Artesians, and you kind of have to start using timeouts now because you're obviously going to need to get the ball back to your offense. And if Whiteland can, if they don't get a first down here, I'm guessing they're going to punt this and just try to pin Martinsville back as deep as they can and force them to march down the field. (34-21) your score, 6:29 left to go. Whiteland with the ball in Artesian territory. It's a toss play. It's going to be a pass and wide open, and it's going to be underthrown, and it's dropped. Wow, Whiteland receiver. I think that was Melvin Taylor who was the intended receiver, I believe, and that was just dropped. It was wide open. It was a halfback pass, and that would have set Whiteland up, and some could argue might have taken any chance of Martinsville out the window. It was wide open, dropped it, so that's another Whiteland mistake. The Whiteland just kind of keeps leaving the door open for the Artesians. The mixed extra point, the bad punt, just Artesians haven't been able to take advantage. It's a reverse, and it's blown up, but it broke in the tackle. Still on his feet, and he's going to get close to the first down, but he's not going to get it. That play was initially blown up behind the line of scrimmage, but broke some tackles and was able to get it near the first down marker. So we'll see what Whiteland does here. Martinsville does not call a timeout. Fourth down, fourth and 4 is what the scoreboard says. Now Martinsville needs to be disciplined here. They do not want to jump off sides. You jump off sides, you give Whiteland a first down. So you want to make sure you stay still, be disciplined, don't jump. Clock is rolling, 5:40 left to go in this fourth quarter. Taylor has it. He's got the edge. He's got it. And it's a first down Whiteland, and you wonder if that might have done it for the Artesians. You get a stop there, you're still a shot, but now a first down for Whiteland and 5:32 left to go in this ball game. Have to give it for the Artesians. They played much better in this second half than they did the first half. 28-7 in the first half. This second half, Artesians have actually outscored Whiteland 14-7 as of so far, and just much better play, but might be not enough as Perry carries it for a big first down run, and that's something that Whiteland did most of the first half, but has not been able to replicate in the second half, thanks to a much stouter Artesian defense that has kept them from getting those big first down runs. So the only chance for Martinsville here now is a turnover. Any points that Whiteland puts up on the board now is pretty much going to put this game out of reach. There are some Artesian fans heading to the heading for the parking lot. Some still here, as you can hear in the background, ringing those cowbells, trying to get this team. And Perry running still on his feet, gets it to the 10-yard line, and that's going to be another first down. It's going to be close to a first and goal situation. We'll see if they mark it on the, if it's at the 11, they'll still have a chance for a first down. Pemberton there with the tackle. Whiteland still with it. Hands it off to Perry up the middle. Perry tackled as he gets to about the 5-yard line. Now, Artesians say that they got a fumble. Galleon's still running. He has the football. He's going to run to the end zone, but we'll have to see what I did see. I thought the ball came loose. We'll see what We'll see what the play call is. Galleon is in the end zone with the football. There is a discussion by the officials. We'll see what the play call is. And they officials will say that Whiteland player was down when he lost the football. Seth Galleon still has the football. Seth Galleon has the football. I don't know what the officials are thinking. They're thinking, I don't know. They thought the football was already in place, but summing up 2nd and 6 after all that excitement. That would have been a huge play for Martinsville if they could have got the ball back on that fumble, but 2nd and 6 from the 7. Hands it off to Taylor on the outside, and he dives forward. Let's see where they mark it, because like I said, Whiteland can get a first down. I think they're going to be about a yard shy of the first down. It's going to bring up 3rd and 1 from the 2-yard line. Ben Marino shaken up a little bit, which would be horrible. You're already down. Chase Havlin with a shoulder injury. Ben Marino, the other defensive end. Both teams going to be a little sore tomorrow. This has been a rough game. Nothing malicious, just a lot of hard hits. So 3rd and 1 for Whiteland here. We got a chance to, if they don't get it in the end zone, we'll pick up the first down, and I think Perry is in the end zone, and that will do it. Whiteland scores again. That'll make it 40-21 with 2:34 left to go in the game, and that will send most of the Artesian fans unhappy to head to the parking lot. So barring a crazy, crazy miracle, it looks like that the Artesian undefeated season will end at week 6. This Whiteland football team, everybody knew that is always tough. Just they're always well coached, and that offense is it's hard to duplicate. It's a tough thing to duplicate in practice. As Coach Fisher calls a timeout, so we'll pause on the extra point. So 2:34 left to go. Whiteland 1 extra point from going up 20. Artesians did play much better in the second half, and you kind of go back to that defensive stand that the Artesians got in the earlier in this 4th quarter. The horrible punt by the Whiteland punter off the side of his foot set up the Artesian offense at the 35-yard line, down 2 scores, down 13 points. Artesian offense had it at the 35-yard line and seemed to be clicking. They punch it in and get the extra point. They're only down 6 with plenty of time left to go in the 4th quarter. But a bad snap, high snap, sent Griffey scrambling to about the 50-yard line. Second down play went nowhere. Then a third down and a low snap this time, and that Whiteland was able to recover it. And Whiteland now set up to, we're going to go for 2 here. Try to go back up 21 points. Taylor has it on the outside. He is going to be pushed out of bounds, so Artesian defense stops him from getting the 2-point conversion. So it's a 19-point game, but it's still a 3-point ball game with only 2:34 left to go. So barring a miracle, the Artesians will go to 5-1, 3-1 in conference. They will be tied with Whiteland at 3-1. Also Whiteland at 5-1 overall. So depending on what Decatur Central does and also Mooresville does, you could have a 4-way tie in the conference with everybody being at 4-1. And Martinsville will host Perry Meridian next week. It's Martinsville's homecoming next week, so hopefully we get a good crowd. I think we will. So host the new member of Mid-State Conference Indiana, Perry Meridian Falcons, the first and only 6A school that the Artesians will play. Line drive, squib kick is going to be scooped up at around the 25-yard line by Nix. Nix cannot escape the defender and will go down at the 25-yard line. The Artesians next game will be here at Ciderwoods Field, homecoming, like I said, against Perry Meridian, and then they will travel to Mooresville for the rivalry game, the Traveling M Trophy, which the Artesians currently have. That'll be up for grabs, and then we'll close out senior night here at Ciderwoods Field, last game of the regular season against Plainfield. So 3 straight conference games. So a lot to play for, though. Obviously, you'd love to have an undefeated season, but I know Coach Whitson, if you would choose between an undefeated regular season or losing the rest of the regular season and winning a sectional championship, he would take the sectional championship in a hurry. Quick pass out to Matt Thomas. Matt Thomas gets tackled after getting the first down, so that will stop the clock momentarily. So like he said to start the season, after week 1, everybody is in the tournament. Everybody is going to be playing in sectionals. They don't seed sectionals here in Indiana. So that means that no matter what your regular season record is, it doesn't matter where you end up in the sectional draw. It's a blind draw, which actually will be a week from this Sunday. October 1st is when the sectional draw is for football. So after next week, the Artesians will know exactly who they're playing and when and where. And it could be this Whiteland Warrior team. Whiteland is in the Martinsville sectional along with the Franklin Grizzly Cubs, who the Artesians beat last week, and then Bloomington South and Bloomington North. Oh, off the hands. That was a nice throw by Griffey to Matthew LaFerry, who couldn't quite hang on to it. And LaFerry brings that in. He might have some room to run. There wasn't a whole lot of defenders around him. So Artesians will possibly see this Whiteland team again. And if you do, it's good that you play them in the regular season because now you know what to expect. Griffey back to pass, quick throw on the far side. First down. I think that is Matt Thomas again, and it is Matt Thomas. Like I said, this Artesian team, and they down it with 2:06 left to go. So it'll be 2nd and 10 coming up for the Artesians. Martinsville played much better in this second half than they did in the first half. And that, I think, just because they have seen now what Whiteland does. And like Coach Whitson said, it's hard to duplicate that in practice and their offense and everything. So now you know what Whiteland does. You've got film on them against your defense. So if you do face Whiteland again during the sectional time, you hopefully can handle them a little bit better. Griffey, look to pass. Going to throw it to Michael Hopple. Is it caught? Did he hang on to it? Must have been incomplete. So could not bring in the reception there. So 2 minutes left to go. 3rd and 10 now for the Artesians. Griffey back. He's going to get a lot of pressure, though, and he will just kind of throw it away, and it's going to be an intentional grounding. It went out of bounds, but Griffey just kind of threw that behind him. There is going to be a penalty. It's going to be against Martinsville, and I think Coach Whitson is just going to have Griffey come out because he's hobbling. He's been hit pretty hard, and this game is under 2 minutes and I think out of reach, so no need to keep your quarterback. Also, Isaac Osborne is going to come out. And now there's no penalty. So it's 4th and long anyway. The ball did end up, I believe, out of bounds, so. So 4th and forever, 1:52 left to go, and the Artesians obviously will keep their offense out here and just we'll see what Coach Whitson does, if he's going to have Xavier Tinnitus air it out. Looks like he is. He's going to get some pressure, and he will be tackled. Whiteland came from the edge and sacked Xavier Tinnitus at the 25-yard line. So that will do it for Martinsville. Like I said, they go to 5-1. 3-1 in conference. So still a lot to play for. You still got a conference championship in your hands. It's going to be a pretty crowded on the up top of these mid-state conference standings, with depending on what Mooresville and Decatur Central both have done tonight. But Martinsville is going to be tied with Whiteland at 3-1 atop the conference, and you could have Decatur Central and Mooresville tied at 3-1 as well. So we will see. But this may not be the only time you see Martinsville take on these Whiteland Warriors, as Artesians could face them in the sectional later on this year. Now you just have to hope that everyone is healthy enough to play next week. We don't know about Chase Havlin. Travis Griffey's been banged up. Garrett Miles also banged up. So you've got a couple really key players banged up tonight. So you hope that they can get healthy, and if they can't be back next week or the week after, you hope that during sectional time everybody is healthy and running. And this will be the final play of the game, and that will do it. Artesians fall this time at Ciderwoods Field, 40-21 to the Whiteland Warriors. I'd like to thank all the camera crew for helping us out tonight. For everyone at WREP Sports, I'm Eric Burns. Good night, everybody.